Now this is buffer time. Respect.
What is buffer time? Is what buffer time?
Hello, Buffer Timers. We're back to do Robbie's pick of an episode, TNG's Contagion. Before we get into it, let's introduce ourselves clockwise. I'm Dustin.
Howdy, I'm Robbie Sherman of Conversations with Robbie Sherman.
I'm Josh or Windgrace, and I'm a demon of air and darkness.
My name's Vanessa, and I love bad Star Trek.
And I'm Scott from Opinions No One Cares About.
Oh, we could have all worn masks.
Oh, yeah.
Missed opportunities.
The masks we wear.
Theater.
Yeah, Norman, it is a very tech-heavy episode. There's a lot of technobabble. There's
Icodian. You try turning it off and on again.
and I was looking for a word like somewhere in between. They're not quite religious, but it's just like it's just a power that's barely described. Anyhow,
Perhaps it's love. Who's to say?
That's the power of love.
so first question: why is Riker such a prick when he knows things are out of the control of the crew?
I'm gonna make a guess. When was this episode first aired, Rob? Do you know?
This is from season 2. So.
Late 88?
Yeah, I was gonna say 88 or 89.
Right, but like in the year, like when in the year was it? Did it air? Okay, maybe that's not relevant because when it was filmed is different. No Nut November. I don't know what November looks like. Like, how do you know what day of the year it is in space? Who the fuck knows? But like,
Somehow they always seem to know.
It was in March 20th of 89.
okay,
It was March Madness, baby. His bracket wasn't doing very well.
So he hadn't paid attention and he hadn't nutted since November. So that explains it.
yeah.
The horror.
I haven't done a full rewatch of TNG in a long time, but I'm kind of wondering if Babyface Riker has a little less confidence than Beard Riker. You know, I'm kind of wondering if the beard was when he started feeling a little more confident. You know, I think that's a bit of insecurity that he has spoken through. He isn't totally in command all the time, you know, at this point. Probably hasn't had a lot of times to be in command at this point.
Yeah,
But-
didn't quite have a dialogue.
Because I just like the way that Riker's position is described is that he's kind of overqualified, even at this point, to be XO. So for him to be this out of his depth seems odd. You know, maybe the beard is just the thing that kind of like pushes him to the next level, but he should be technically capable at this point of standing in for Picard.
Yeah, I don't think he, or yeah, I can't remember if this is right before or right after he gets offered his first command, where his dad comes aboard. They're right about the same time in the season. But yeah,
It's like having a dad come to a play at your school or something, you know? It's just a terrible situation.
Oh, my kid never thought that.
I just thought it was so awkward that, like, you know, both Pulaski and his dad, Riker's dad, just had such a obliviousness about how Riker might react to his dad and Pulaski, like, you know, being cute together, because it's like he hates you. What are you doing?
By the way, Scott, your kid didn't worry about it because you're a good dad.
Thanks, Robbie.
Yeah.
is having the Romulan ship getting infected a loss on a dramatic level? Was there a more interesting conflict, possibly with the Romulan neutral zone?
Is this the first time the neutral zone's come into play since the neutral zone in season 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Our first real introduction to what it even is, as far as application.
TNG, anyway, yeah.
I think in this case, I like it a little more that the playing field is level, because I don't know if I want to see a beat up Enterprise undergoing, systematic failures against a Romulan warbird that is in perfect shape and ready to destroy you.
Also, when I was writing that question, I was wondering a little bit how Varley could be so damn confident to take his crew into the neutral zone. Sometimes there's a lot of hints that Varley is incompetent in this episode. He did not evacuate his people when he had the opportunity to. I was watching the episode right before we got on here, and he could have saved some lives, and instead everybody just died. And it's all on his head. I mean,
it kind of reminds me of that Strange New Worlds episode from the last season that we saw, where that one ship filled with people exploded because of some.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's when they find out it's humans at the end,
Yeah.
and they blew up. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
sort of like an arms
Activated
race
tail or
thing
something.
in sort of uncertain territory and stuff. I actually preferred not only that they were on even footing, but they were in a position of helping each other. I think that really spoke to Picard's ability to reach across the aisle, so to speak, and actually like tangibly help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And so what Norman's saying down here, yes, Carolyn Seymour is the Romulan commander. She is my favorite Romulan, and she's just one of my favorite actresses ever.
So going back to the incompetence, I don't think it was intended at this point in the series, but it's something that retroactively adds to it. At this point in time, it seems like Starfleet is just so up there. Well, in the Federation too, they're so up their own butts with like hubris and confidence, and like they're the height of everything. This brand new Galaxy class starships. It's just gonna, it's gonna be great. Do everything. I'm a Starfleet captain of the greatest ship. I can just do whatever the hell I want. Those Romulans, whatever. We haven't even talked to them in 100 years. Pfft, who cares? And then stuff starts going wrong, like right away. Nobody's equipped to deal with it. They immediately start pointing fingers like, oh, must be a design flaw. Couldn't be anything else. It just kind of adds to the nature of everyone out here right now is kind of a huge stick up their ass. Until
maybe I pose that question because I enjoy it when Trek does the space captain battle of wills type of thing as well, and maybe I wanted a little more of that because Picard and Carolyn Seymour's Romulan, they could have had some real fire between them, under different circumstances. I feel.
I guess like what may have enhanced that is that the Romulan is only focused on the fact that the Federation is in the neutral zone when they shouldn't be, rather than trying to get at this weapon too. Like if they were both working toward that same goal versus just like having a territorial thing, that would be interesting.
Do you think it would have been beneficial if they had added scenes from the Romulan point of view? Because as it stands, it was mostly just she would pop on screen for a little bit until that very final scene where Picard was on her bridge. So we were only seeing things from the point of view of our view screen. We weren't really seeing what was going on in their minds.
Like in Balance of Terror, you saw from Romulan's perspective, like how the tensions were building and everything.
So to kind of play off something Josh said a minute ago, despite finding reasons for what happened to the Yamato. Is the Galaxy class a flawed design?
I don't know
I
if I'd say
honestly-
about the design, but
Yeah,
I mean,
Go ahead, Scott,
Hmm?
please.
more than one person has talked about, why do you have, the flagship of the fleet, which is designed, seems dually for deep space exploration and combat, and then we're going to fill it full of families. And yeah, you got a decent mechanism in place if you need to get all the kids out of there, because you can do a saucer separation, like Norman said. But they show that like twice, the entire series.
Well, that's the battle bridge, and the thing is, it's a ship that has defense mech systems and all that, and possibly offensive systems. But you have to understand too that at this point in Federation history, this is almost like 100 years of solid peace. They do not anticipate nor they're so confident in their ability to negotiate around aggression that having families on board just makes sense, especially if you're going to be gone for 5 years. Seeing your kids not grow up would be crazy.
I mean, at this point, it's like the Grateful Dead goes on tour.
I've always thought it was a weird design for other reasons. Why is it aerodynamic? You're in space. There's no reason to be.
That's true. At least with Voyager, they addressed that because it was made for landing on planets. But the Enterprise D is made for crashing on planets if you're driven by Troy.
They did the best they could. I wouldn't have done any better.
I mean, I think it was just a combination of too much and too much overreach in every single part of it. But it made for a cool 7 years, so.
I mean, if it was perfect, then there would be no need for an engineer, and it would be just self-sufficient. So I think
Right.
just designs need maintenance, and yeah, I guess the inherent flaw is that it needs upkeep.
Well, they should have taken a cue from legendary scientist Elon Musk, and because everything he did is just perfect, has no flaws.
Yeah, you throw away everything that works and just
or upkeep,
recreate it. Redesign everything from the ground up.
What's his science degree in anyway?
Bullshit.
Just take credit for something that already exists.
Overpopulation, probably.
His degree is in money. That's it.
It's stealing money.
So jumping to the ending, is the ending a satisfying conclusion, or does it feel too tidy?
Frankly, every time I watch the ending, it just feels like a weird, like something about it has no drama, like there's no payoff somehow. I almost wonder if there's like too many balls being juggled. I mean, I do like the episode. There's a lot of entertaining moments, and they do have some tension, but at the same time, I've never really felt like there's a big payoff that like it almost feels like a tidy sitcom ending or something. Like, well, that's our adventure for this week, everybody.
It definitely felt more like an original series ending, I suppose. Just short of the everyone laughing on the bridge after hundreds of people had just died, but
that's the best time to laugh, though.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I certainly wouldn't have minded if like some random Romulan had wound up stranded somewhere, fell through a portal.
Ooh, yeah, that would have been cool if some of them had made it down and like their arrogance was like, we're Romulans, we just go wherever we want, and they ended up on like the ice moon of Andoria or something and froze to death or whatever.
Or even if we just had a red shirt security officer that ends up going through and they never retrieve.
And that
Well, in this case, blue shirt.
Till lower
something
decks.
we could revisit later, or beta canon or something. But like, this is so rip off of Guardian of Forever, but it goes so much slower. I'm just like, why doesn't it, I don't know, cycle through different dimensions versus just different locations, or, you know, where you end up, when you go through it, you end up as like another person and your identity is gone or something. Like, make the stakes a little more than just like, I'm entering a room.
I wish they had done. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, sorry.
John.
Okay, well, whoever it was, they're free to go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I wonder if there's, similar to the Royale, how there was an original plan. I don't know if there was more to this originally or not. If it came out exactly how they wanted it or not.
The Iconian computer they deal with, it feels weird. Like it feels basic. Like somebody did not take the time to make something more interesting. It's like a big game of Simon Says or something. Like you're just hitting the colored buttons. And the way Data talks about it's like, well, I think we just hit these colored buttons in certain patterns. Like it really doesn't seem that complicated or interesting. Like I don't know what went wrong with this script. I mean, there was a lot of promise there, but the Iconian technology doesn't feel that advanced for a race that can create a computer program that will take over your ship and blow it up.
I like how they use the 3 basic colors that are also the division colors in Starfleet. Just what a coincidence.
Well, they're master hackers and all. It doesn't mean they give much attention to aesthetic.
Oh, true.
But it did give us the cool scene where Data's like, blue, blue, blue.
Yeah, that was good. Brent Spiner being Brent Spiner.
Yeah.
I did like getting to see Brent act as if he's disabled, but struggling to communicate on a certain level. Like the acting helps move us along.
I wish it was just something a little more compelling than Data just sort of sputtering out what his mind is capable of at that moment. Like, why not interface directly with the Iconians? Maybe, there's something where he's directly plugged into them and in touch with this ancient knowledge. I think that would be way more interesting than, not just Simon Says, it's Twister, literally.
Well, then he has his magic make everything get better program that just solves everything.
Captain, I'm going to go into their computer and finger it softly.
From what Norman had said here, I had always hoped Voyager would find one and then decide that they can't leave the ship. So, they're just, we're not going to take the gateway. We can't leave Voy. Anyway.
That's so Voy.
Does medical training at Starfleet not even cover something like a splint for emergency away mission purposes?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. You cannot always expect all your future tools to work. Pulaski was on the nose on that one. Learn to do splints, learn to make stitches. I'm not saying you have to, know how to do an emergency tracheotomy, but a little basic first aid.
This is one of the best medical scenes in Trek up to this point.
Yeah, it was a great use of Diana for her, what was it, a minute of on-screen time.
Fulfill contractual obligations.
The guy's confused splint. Like he's never ever heard the term in his entire life. Felt crazy. You know,
Right.
they have to train him better by this point. I mean, they got to go through some type of basic training, I would imagine, that would be like, well, you know, if you're really in a pinch, like you're trapped on a desert island with a oil monster or something, and you've broken your leg, you can put a splint together. Like, it just, it really feels like an underwritten part of our episode. Like, I get them trying to bring the medical part of it down in a way that they have to like focus on different types of solutions, but at the same time the way they put it together really felt airheaded. Like like this guy feels stupid. Like he's got to be 25 or 26, my word. You know, he had to have heard of something like this happening, you know, where someone needed a split.
Yeah, for that being medical
Well,
staff, I get it. If this had been like Voyager, maybe, and the doctor was like wrangling whoever to help him, he's like, "You make a splint," and they're like, "Whoa!" Like that could have worked if he was pulling someone out of the corridor. But yeah, this is a doctor theoretically, or at least a nurse.
Yeah, presumably he went to the Leonard McCoy School of Medicine, where everything that isn't as advanced as, you know, like the 24th century is just witchcraft.
Well, you have to be drunk to take class.
Prescribing booze
Yeah,
for most of your ailments.
Man, I wish Dr. McCoy was my doctor.
but he
You're
has
gonna
the
have
hands
to
of
go
a
your
surgeon.
bartender.
The thing that gets me about their exchange about this splint is the fact that he is so convinced that it won't work. Why, like, what did he think people did before, like, the stitching? Just like had
Die.
broken bones that just like, yeah, they just up and died, and that's how he's alive. None of his ancestors survived, and he's just magically here.
No,
Well, I
Vanessa.
got better.
Yeah, I just find this like ignorance around the past, like not even the distant past, like relatively recently. I consider like 100 or so years ago pretty recent, and it's still like, huh, we did what? Whoa, like whoa.
Gee
we're not talking
willikers.
about we're not talking about like the humors here or miasma. We're talking about like setting a bone. That's ridiculous.
He has to
Yeah,
release
exactly.
the demons from inside the brain.
Yeah.
The
Cutting a little
RFK
hole.
Junior Field of Medicine.
How
Yeah.
many worms? Like every time you have mezcal, watch out.
Nope, I'm sorry, Vanessa. We are living in the future. We are all living in the
Where it's
future.
all bloodlet.
Is Picard being reckless by going to the planet because of his obsession with the Iconians?
I think so. I
Yes.
personally think so.
Yeah.
Yes, but
It's
I
like he
guess
kind
it
of had an
also
Indiana
makes
Jones moment. You know, like archaeology is a hobby of his, and now he's going to attempt to, you know, check out the Iconians who nobody ever saw. It's like, where's my fedora and whip?
sense. I mean, I get the reasoning behind it because theoretically nobody else, aside from maybe Data, had studied the language. So there was a rationale for it, but I mean, I feel like there was a way around that if they really didn't want Picard down there.
Damn it, Data. This is
How
my
shall
only
we-
opportunity to steal the jade monkey of the Iconians.
Is it like
Kurlanescos.
is it like the Shrine of the Silver Monkey? And it's like 3 pieces. What do I do with this?
I must
You
go
can
down there.
only
I'm
hit
the only one who
these
knows how to
colored
put them together.
pads in a certain sequence.
I like how the other captain of the Galaxy class ship, he's also like into archaeology. Is that just a thing for Galaxy class captains? They just love
You
archaeology.
can't be captain without an archaeology degree. You know
Yeah, I
that?
did notice that.
God, where the hell do you find the time?
Yeah, he's visiting random planets and putting dig sites together to figure out where the Iconians are and just going there. Do you have no other missions?
Yeah, it's like it just seemed as if he just decided that this was a weapon that he was going to make it his personal mission to harness at all costs. no matter what danger to his crew. Yeah.
But it's okay. When he gets the Iconian like weapon, he is going to use it to take back Mobius and destroy Edman once and for all. He's really thinking
Correct.
about the future.
Correct.
Yeah.
Could you just take Jared Leto too? Can you just...
He just wants a quick and easy way to get to Ryza whenever he wants. Just walk through that door.
So that way he can read his book on a fucking beach like a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Does Wesley only care about Federation deaths?
Whoa. Cool.
Again, like that Strange New World episode, 5,000 people, they're not ours, so whatever.
Oh wait, they were human?
Right. Like they're human, so it's like, that feels a little icky, but they're not our people, so it's fine.
Yeah, they only teach you to have empathy for your people at the academy.
Federation first.
Romulans last.
That's how we end up bombing random Romulans in the neutral zone under the guise of narco-terrorism. But anyway, why would Riker forget that you can't beam people through shields?
Ooh, it's a strike against him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the writers forget that a lot, but Riker?
Yeah, right. Oh, the writers come up with all kinds of stuff for kinds of reasons why you can't beam.
I'd like to think that Jonathan Frakes is just improving as Riker. They just, give him like a stage direction and they're just like, be Riker, go.
Well, it's easy. A little-known secret of Riker is that he keeps his memory in his beard. So until he gets the beard back, he's just kind of walking around like all starstruck, not knowing what to do. He has to have Troy give him some type of sense of how he should handle the crew, which I thought was like crazy. Like you should give them something to do, just anything to do. Like, yeah, you should already know about that, buddy, considering how experienced you supposedly are.
I sense that the crew needs busy work.
Does
the crew needs a puzzle?
So Josh and Robbie, do y'all, since you're bearded, follicularly gifted people of the face, do you have supernatural powers that give you like an extra sensory understanding of your surroundings, or is it just like, because that's what it sounds like?
I get a natural +4 to spot checks. But that's about it.
I mean, I don't know if it's a extra sensory power, but I usually hear the neighbors having sex at some point or another. I don't know. Maybe it's the beard, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a doctor or a scientist. Hell, I barely qualify as a person.
Sometimes I get surprise food left for later, if that's counts.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes there's no Nut November.
Well, it's December 1st, so.
Now, Josh.
Shit.
Now, Josh, is your beard like mine, to where you have a heating coil in there that keeps the leftovers nice and toasty for you?
Sometimes. This side's matter, this side's antimatter, so we'll see how it works out.
Watch those
when you get
magnetic
those two
seals.
together, it's just an explosion.
It's a design flaw.
Yeah, because it's not just the fact that he forgot about this technical detail. It's like the look on his face. It's just complete blank. Like just nothing going on.
And of course, it's Wesley that has to point it out.
He's got 2 brain cells to rub together, and they're both just.
That beardless Riker is just a himbo idiot.
Everyone on the bridge is going about their business. Oh, excuse me, has anyone considered you can't beam through the shields?
Yeah, I noticed that because I have chin hair sometimes, so that's how I picked up on that.
So if Troy had a beard, she'd be useful.
All the time, every episode. Yep.
Not to me though.
Wow.
Does 90% of the ship being automated jive with canon?
Because they mentioned that all of the systems are automated, like almost all of them, 90%. So it's like, why? Like, does this get mentioned anywhere else?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Like, what do they say they only do manually?
Scraping carbon off slightly harder carbon?
Okay. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense with O'Brien's statement in DS9 that all he had to do on the Enterprise was stand around. There's nothing to do. It all just kind of worked.
Oh.
That's a great screenshot, Dustin. Like when I watched that, I was wondering how they made that so convincing without beating the hell out of him.
Oh, they beat the hell
Well, I
out of
mean,
him.
it's a stunt double, and I'm sure they shot it upside down, so
Okay, yeah.
Has anybody seen? There's a comic with Miles O'Brien in it, and he's basically just like in a room, in the transporter room alone all the time, just being very lonely. It's very sad.
Yeah, I also feel like that's a dig when he left and Picard's like, your favorite transporter room. Number
I would
3.
be so glad to be out of here.
God, he's an asshole.
I'm glad we got that.
Makes me wish for my days on the Rutledge again. Setlick 3, here I come.
Yeah.
I'm always walking in and he's reading detective novels. It's annoying. I do that in my off time.
Good callback to the one episode they mentioned that he actually likes detective novels.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, there's an episode that mentioned Odo said, O'Brien introduced me to Mike Hammer. He loves his novels or something like that.
Oh, okay, cool. Actually, yeah, I only got 4 megabytes of memory in this here old beard, so it's basically a Sega Master System I got to work with.
Does yours have a rumble pack?
Like I said, Sega Master System, friend. That's about 6 or 7 years off, right?
My rumble
You
pack
gotta pay
is
extra for that.
my rumble pack is anxiety and ADHD. It's just bouncing my leg constantly.
But I do have a little battery for save states, though.
Oh, perfect.
I get some great fun out of Fantasy Star.
Fun.
Go ahead, Dustin. I'm sorry.
PSO.
Does fate actually protect fools and ships named Enterprise?
Most of the time.
I mean,
if
And
we're
are they different? Or are they one and the same?
if we're simply judging by seasons 1 and 2, then yeah.
That seemed to be all of what TNG is comprised of, according to Riker and Picard when they were on the first episode of the 3rd season. They're like, remember all the shit we used to get into? We just got our way out of it, and it's like that is not a helpful framework to move forward in life with. Y'all are like old now, and you're like, we're just two scamps. Like, so weird.
Man, that was so cray when we got out of there. Oh boy.
It had nothing to do with any sort of deductive reasoning or like problem solving or like, expertise, deference to people's understanding of a certain thing. Nope. We just were like, we just had little propellers on our hats and we were just had our big lollies and scams.
Riker, I need you to hit the side of the computer like the Fonz, like you used to do.
Anyway.
Why doesn't Riker ask how the fuck Worf and Data got onto the bridge?
that would have made the episode. He just turns around as they show up, like, Mr. Worf, Data, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, like he forgot twice. He forgot about the beaming twice.
Are you two married now?
Are you spies?
I'm in danger.
It tastes like burning.
How does anyone not slap their forehead that solution is to turn it off and back on again? Have you tried turning it off
Been
and
on.
back on again?
Mm-hmm. The whole ship.
The way Geordi had to like make that like a grand, like, hold on a second. If I'm getting this right, I think, Data's program, I think, yes.
Now look, Captain, we turn the ship off. I have to warn you, we'll only have a half an hour of oxygen.
He didn't try tip number 1 on like the tech tips list.
Well, they did jiggle
Shame,
the
Geordi.
cable, but it didn't help.
Like a full shutdown. I guess like maybe they don't consider that because that includes life support or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving the sort of like logic that led them there too much credit.
Maybe, but you'd think they'd be desperate because they already lost life support on a couple of decks randomly.
Right. And the medical bay, and they're having to resort to splints.
No.
And-
Oh, the horror.
And
Not splints.
and Picard can't get his tea. He's getting a really ugly floral arrangement.
Really
From,
ugly
like,
artificial plant.
Yeah. That like ugh. It's like it was just hideous. It was ugly too. Like
Yeah. It's funny
It
because
looks
I think
like
that's the first time. Sorry, I think that's the first time he says tea Earl Grey hot and he doesn't even get tea.
Ooh.
yeah.
Correct. That is correct.
Really?
Yeah, this is the first time he ever orders it, and it's not the first time that he gets it though.
At least he didn't get sausages in his tea this time.
Or that nasty sludge that they had on Enterprise that one time when the replicator malfunctioned.
Mm.
That floral arrangement looks like it would be in a dentist office. And I hate it. Tacky.
That's
bet he-
fair.
I bet he was so pissy on set that day. Well, Picard can have Earl Grey, but all I get is this friggin' tea bags, these friggin' Maxwell house bags.
Or he gets tea bagged and that's it.
Or no, they just get him a bag of that
Yep.
instant Lipton. It's not even a tea bag. Just stir up the powder.
Goddamn cheap ass Berman. I'm so sick of him.
Well,
I
Berman
used to-
bought the plant and the tea at the same time at Kmart, which is where he saw Terry Farrell and said, "This is where you're going to work."
It was a blue light special.
F in the chat for Kmart.
Is not, I think, today the most clunky one-liner ever written? I haven't spoken up much on this. I don't think it is. I think it's fine. I think it's very Picard or Patrick Stewart Shakespearean. It's fine.
I mean,
He
it does
could've
feel a little bit like a placeholder, I would say.
Yeah. Like I'm all about making things leaner and meaner and not interrupting yourself. So why not just say not today? I think
Yeah.
that would be a lot less like I think sounds as if he's not fully confident in what he's saying. But not today would sound way more confident. It just sounds like with that clause in the middle, like he's like, I think so.
All right, how about this? What if he said, "Not today, bitches," and then double phasers?
Put in my Van Halen 2 tape. We're getting out of here, bitches.
I really want that. And then like he does like a costume change, like a quick reveal, and he has that outfit that Kirk wears in Triskelion, and he's just
Ooh.
covered in oil.
They start spinning a tape. 1, Sing, yella, sensation.
Or he's like like holding a tea bag and spinning it. Yeah, it's amazing.
Eat this, Berman.
I'd have
Poor
Berman
Ricky.
take my tea leaves for me.
Well, we made a compromise. I will drink the tea, but he has to dip it in front of me while I look at him confidently, because he knows I'm the one in charge.
So still on the topic of Picard, does Picard having so many interests ever feel strained on a character level? If that's true, it's only in the first couple of seasons. Like, I know now we're finally finding out that he also loves the archaeology, just like the Captain of the Yamato. But like before this, we had him like in the Royale doing like Fermat's last theorem and like trying to figure out the impossible orbit of a planet. So it's only weird in the first couple of seasons, and then it's like archaeology is pretty much his only hobby.
Archaeology and the
reading.
classics, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And
sometimes
avoiding
when they
Loxana
just,
Troy.
sometimes when they like try to give him too many hobbies, it makes him feel like the kid from Rushmore who's in every club. You know, like, come on, guys, you don't have to fucking work that hard.
Oh, don't
You
forget
don't have to
horseback
front-
riding.
You're already the head of a starship. You know, you've gotten enough skills underneath your hands.
I enjoy that, and horseback riding. He likes horses too.
All of the, what is it with all the captains loving
Yeah.
horseback riding? It's weird.
Oh, and yeah, because Pike too with horses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pike,
How the
Shatner.
hell,
Oh,
how the
I mean,
hell do
Kirk.
these captains have kids with all their horseback riding love?
They
I mean,
don't.
Well,
Oh.
the one that has a kid is Cisco, and I ain't never seen him on a horse.
Yeah.
damn straight.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
fuck
I would
that.
like to be honest. That would be a glorious episode.
Yeah.
I kind of see Cisco as somebody that doesn't rely on the power of others to stand in his own. He doesn't need a horse.
But
He's,
you
he's a
know,
literal deity. So
Yeah, exactly.
it would be cool though if Cisco was into like the history of black cowboys, like Lenny in that one Simpsons like Carl in that one Simpsons episode.
There is that one. There's that like one or two episodes where they beam down to Bajor to get those like columns and beam them back, and he kind of goes a little bonkers about the carvings in the yeah. So it's mainly when he loses his mind that he's in archaeology.
well, that's true because in that one episode where they all kind of got fixated, he built the
Yeah.
clock that like he
Yep.
didn't know how it worked after that.
Mhm.
But he's an engineer, so I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, if he's an engineer, he can read the manual.
He wrote the manual
He is the manual.
Is the manual.
non-linearly. He hasn't done it yet.
He's like Memento, and he has it written, the manual written all over him.
Oh god, it's like the second season of Loki where there's this whole manual about the TVA, and like they can't figure out who wrote it because someone like took a copy back in time and gave it to a version of Kang, and then they like brought it to the future and gave it to the person who supposedly wrote it. They bootstrap paradox the hell out of it.
Oh.
All right, I only have one more question, and it was the title question I put on this video. Is it okay to violate the neutral zone?
Repeatedly, over and over again.
Well, I mean,
I
when
mean, it's
you're
almost never mentioned except when they do it. So
when the person who would like create the problem of violating the neutral zone when their ship just blows up, I guess it really doesn't matter. You're just out there by yourself. But it's more of a coincidence that solves your problem than a solution to that question, I guess.
I mean, it could have gone a lot more horribly than it did. Like if everything hadn't, well, I was going to say work out for the best, but How many people were on that ship? Like
Yeah.
700? I'm assuming their ship had families too, so great.
Yeah, I think part of it is that there's latitude given because it's the Enterprise in there now, and they are doing an investigation. It's not like they're just trying to encroach on territory just for the sake of it and not playing games. And only after they research the logs do they sort of get a hint at like what they're looking at. So I don't think I think things like this should be like a case by case basis, because obviously unless you have a they had a they had a good reason to be there and to remain there until the problem was dealt with, both like mechanically and politically.
Norman makes a little joke at the bottom here, and it does make me think that maybe the Romulans are a little more patient than they would normally be. I think maybe the Romulans would be a little more aggressive in a differently written script.
That's fair. Although I do feel like maybe they were stalking the other ship to like see what it did so that they didn't have to do the hard work and then they're going to pop out and claim it for their own.
Yeah, one thing that's like weird, you more see it in TOS, but that anytime the Federation violates the neutral zone and like dips their toe in, there's like 17 Romulan vessels there to greet them, like ha ha ha, and they like capture them, but like there was only like the Enterprise stumbling on that one Romulan ship that its navigation went offline. You know, it's pretty interesting that the Federation doesn't view this Cold War build up the way that the Romulans do.
Well, I think the Romulans are incredibly against escalation at this stage in Federation history. That's the entire point of the neutral zone, is to avoid any sort of run-ins with anybody. They're so super isolationist, and the Federation's size has exponentially grown since TOS. Like we're 70, almost 100 years out from TOS at this point. So it's like the Federation has way more firepower, way more allies, way like it'd be one system and one planet against God knows how many systems and planets filled with ships. Like that would just be so stupid.
More than that, the Federation has built out literally around them if you look at like the star map. So the Federation surrounds almost everything except for the big border they share with the Klingons.
They're like Liechtenstein or something. It's just stupid.
Good thing that supernova only affected that one part of Romulan space, though.
All right, so we finished up our questions. I know Vanessa needs to get out of here a little early, so let's do our out of tens, and we can start with Vanessa, and then
I got a little bit of leeway, but thank you. I think it's like there are certain things that hold this episode back, that like they could have delved into a little bit more, but they were just sort of stuck on certain details that didn't necessarily pay off. But there were things about this that really made me happy. I just enjoy this stage of TNG generally. I think this plot is interesting, at least. So I would give it a 7.
All right, when you factor in, the stuff we've already talked about, like Riker's kind of not acting like Riker, or just not the way we expect him to at this point, and the explanations for things get a little muddled. Picard almost drinks a plant. Damn, Norman. Okay. I do. And you got the Iconians, who are again another one of these, long gone but amazingly technologically advanced societies that apparently are just all over the place. I do like the idea of portal technology. Pardon me. So I mean, that was a fun little addition. And the interaction with the Romulans wasn't that bad. I get to thinking, maybe when we were talking about it, like maybe if, the Romulan commander had wound up down on the planet with Picard and we get more tension between, the two of them. So it probably brings it down a little bit. Yeah, I probably agree with Vanessa here and give it a 7.
Okay, yeah, I'm in that same kind of ballpark. I might go down just a little bit, and by that I mean like a quarter point. I'm thinking like a 6.75. It's fine. I want to give it more for Carol and Seymour, but I won't. It's quite good for the first couple of seasons of Trek. Um, but like lower middle of the road mediocre compared to a lot of the rest of TNG to come. So yeah, it's fine. It's a decent episode. I'm gonna give it a 6.75. Go ahead, Robbie.
I think I'm going to give it a 6.5. I think there was a lot of sloppiness around the edges that takes away some of the fun. The Iconians feel more like a plot thing than they do a culture. Like we have very little identity for who they are. There's suggestions that they might have been a culture based around conquering other cultures. But really, what they're about is about creating like plot conveniences that create action. I mean, they don't really represent like a culture that gets explored. They are there to create a little Simon Says game for our crew. They just I I just think it's a little underdeveloped. I mean, the thing with the split is really glaring, and it is the sign of a rushed script, that they just have like a medical professional not knowing basic medical terms for something that feels a little weird and crazy. There's fun moments. I mean, there's good acting. Yeah, the crew feels comfortable with each other generally. But I don't. It feels like a dry run for better attempts at similar stories coming up. So I think it gets a 6.5 because it's entertaining enough. But if you're going into the edges of it, you're going to be dissatisfied. I mean, the ending itself really feels just like flat. Like it doesn't give me payoff in the way I want out of a classic TNG episode. Josh?
So yeah, to play off that a little bit, you mentioned like a dry run for some better episodes, or at least future episodes. I couldn't help but be reminded of the Wounded and the Chase in this a little bit, and things they could have done that were similar to things in there, but instead it was more of there wasn't any real buildup of the tensions between the Romulans and the well, I was going to say the Federation, but I guess mostly the Enterprise. It was just both our ships are not doing well and will occasionally talk to each other and let each other know we have problems, and then Picard gets that zinger at the end. But if there was more of some sort of instance of a back and forth, a chase of through the Romulan neutral zone or something, like they were both trying to get there before the Federation ship that was originally discovered it or something, or they're both confronting each other through diplomatic channels and they're trying to resolve something. I don't know. It was more just like there's two ships in the area and they don't really have anything to do with each other besides just be there. But that said, there are things in this episode that for a season 2 episode always stuck out to me the first time I was watching it. Like the gateway technology is cool. The Geordi flipping around the turbo lift was always kind of like, that's kind of a cool thing to do. Some of the interactions and seeing Data be a little, maybe not the best we've ever seen, but getting to put a little extra work into to be possessed and try to deal with an alien technology, which he'd go on to do later, of course, as well, and probably already done at this point when he was taken over by Ira Graves and stuff. But they could have done a lot better. But for a season 2 episode, this isn't a standout, but it's definitely one of the ones that's heading in the right direction, I think, from some of the just awful stuff we got in season 1. Things about it I would change, but there are also things about it that I think work because they're so weird. And it's an enjoyable episode. I wouldn't skip it. I would watch it again, and I probably am right around the same ballpark of a 6.5.
I do
Nice.
like their Stargate technology, basically.
Stargate before Stargate.
Yeah. I always wondered if that was like an intentional callback to how the show was originally supposed to not have ships and just transport them around the universe.
Oh,
I don't know that for a fact. I'm just wondering.
Finally got my camera to focus on my tree instead of me, so I'm gonna put this up. It's just the top of it. You can't really see the whole thing because it's too tall to get me
very
in
cool.
the same frame. But you got some badges in there. You got like the entire TOS crew, La Serena.
Oh, are those Mirror Spock and Uhura?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
That's
all from,
so cool.
from Mirror.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
Let me play just a bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
I love the
copyright.
wallpaper you chose. It has the same sort of like color scheme as the uniforms, which is really nice.
I'm glad you got Mirror Spock in there. I mean, that's the hottest iteration of Spock with that little beard. Like, oh man, heartbreaker.
Ooh.
See?
Imagine
I got
Ethan
rid-
Peck
Very-
shirtless with his beard.
You should have kept it.
Screaming Khan. All right. Well,
Weeping
let's get out of here. Next week we've got Gannon's pick. He'll be with us, I guess, doing DS9's Trials and Tribulations. I know that's a big fan favorite. I think that's going to be a very fun topic. I'd like to thank all of you folks that joined me today to talk about this thing, and for all of you that tuned in. Till we see you again, live long and